Hello, everybody. We are super glad to see you here. This is our new writing sprint day. We have moved over from Wednesday. You are not imagining things. It is, in fact, Monday, and here we are. It took us a little while. Sorry, I've got like a hair thing going on. It took us a little while to figure out kind of what we were going to do, so I'm going to just apologize for that in advance. I do know Doll is going to be joining us, so we should see her pretty soon as well. So while we have one person in the audience, please say hello so we know who you are. We've got two. Okay, our friends are starting to find us. Yay!
Yay!
Say hello, everybody. So let's go ahead and do our intros while people are sort of filtering in on our brand new day. And we lost one. It was two, and then they're like, "Oh, we're in the wrong place." Sorry. Okay, so Carol Brown.
Hi, my name is Kara Brown. I'm an urban fantasy writer and the owner of Mad Raptor Productions. I'm actually here to do a refilling of the well. One of the side things that I like to do is play Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm basically doing what we call game mastering, and so I'm actually just going to write out all my GM notes and just get ready for that. So that's me.
That's awesome. I love that. That is so cool. There's something so creative about that game. Not something. There are lots of things that are so creative about that game.
I haven't played it in years, but the player's personality always comes out on what they do.
Yeah. I have one guy, and I just call him like my entity of chaos, because like no matter what I do, like he's just gonna throw a wrench into it, but he's not coming. So
that's good. Look who's here! It's Stephen Whelan, who made it all the way over from Wednesday. We are so glad you're officially our first. You're not just like the first person at the stream today. You're the first person at the Monday stream ever. I'd like to just mark this down for all of history. All right, I've done that. Okay, good job. Stephen, we're so glad you're here today. I don't know, are you going to be writing today, or are you just going to be getting ready for work? Either way, I'm super glad that you made it in today.
There's a no prize on its way to you, Stephen.
That's right. That's right. Robert Jones, the story detective, what are you doing today?
I'm going to be moving forward on my manuscript. I started editing a few pages last week, and I got intrigued, so I'm going to keep going with it, even if it's slowly while I'm working on other things.
That's very good. Very good. I'm very glad to hear that. I will be working on my website notes again. I still did not get them finished last week. You'd think this would be a 17-page thing, but it really isn't. It's a lot more thinking and a lot less writing than it should be. Anyway, working on that. I'm excited about that. So that is what I will be doing today. Nicole is here. Hello, Nicole. We are very glad to see you today. What are you going to be working on? Let us know in the chat. So when we do our 5-minute warm-up, I am going to put out the word on social media, since this is our first day doing this on Mondays. And I think probably, like me, probably almost everybody forgot. So Doll is here. Hello, Doll.
Hi. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. We're just doing our introduction, so you are just in time. Tell us about you, dear.
Hello there, humans. I'm Doll Cecile Bruno, a partially blind author of sci-fi, thriller, and other genres, and a little bit of poetry. My channel is currently on a break, but I will be back soon. And if you want to see what I'm doing in the here and now, you can follow me on Instagram at Doll Cecile Bruno.
There's a lot of channels on break right now.
I think that's definitely true. Laura is here today. Hello, Laura. She says, waiting to be called into dailies for my shots for the film here for the company. Aw, thank you so much. We are so glad you made it today. We love you. JL is here. Hello. I'm very glad you guys made it over. I was really worried that we would lose our cat. I am sorry, though. We have to send out a little heart to JK because she can't be here on Mondays.
Aww.
I know. I love her. All right. Spence is here. Hello, Spence.
The Kovich.
I know. Love that. What are you guys going to work on today? Spence, Nicole, CO Savvy, Dorothy's here. Nicole says she's going to get some proofreading done. Need to record this week's video. Very good plan. CO Savvy is here. Yay. Hi, Daily Brown Detective Bat says, happy Monday. Happy Monday to you too. What are you going to be working on, CO? Dorothy Smith is here. Hello, Dorothy.
Hello.
We are very glad to see you today. I'm going to pull up a timer for a 5-minute sprint because I feel like A, we want to get ready and busy today, and B, I want to make sure that I let everybody know on Facebook that we are, and Twitter, that we are going to actually be doing this today. So, as far as your projects, do you feel that you get more done in the summer or less? Because Robert, you had mentioned something earlier that there were a lot of channels that were on hiatus right now, and that is true. Do you personally get more work in the summer, done in the summer, or at other times of the year?
It used to be less in the summer, and then it came out to where the seasons weren't switching up as much, but now I'm back to getting a lot less done in the summer. So I hope that trend.
Why do you think that is?
Well, for me, it's just the heat, and
same.
And the disaster that I did. I'm doing better this year, and I hope that kind of continues. So,
well, I hope so too. That would be good. That would be good. All right. So Spence says, I have some client work to get done. At some point, my child is going to be home. They always come home, don't they?
Yes. That's good. Probably because they get hungry.
That's probably it. Georgie's here. Hello, Georgie. We are very glad to see you today. Yay. All right. So Carol, what about you? Do you get more done in the summer or less?
I think I get about the same amount usually done. I guess it depends on what's going on. Like this time last year, I was taking 3 grad classes, and so like I always had like this perpetual state of like, so.
How about you, Doll? More or less in the summer, or about the same?
Less. I am the best when it's cold outside. When it's winter or at least raining, when it's cloudy, when there's no sunlight, I'm the best.
Isn't that interesting? I always wonder, but I tend to be more productive in the summer. Even though I spend more time relaxing, I spend a lot more time.
I have an explanation for it, and it has to do with my eyesight problem. I have more. My retinas are open, so I receive way more light than the average person. Yes, I am like a cat. I can see in the dark. Not like a cat, but I can see in the dark. I just need like a dim light, like a very, very spark of light, and I can see with that the whole room. It's fine. Of course, when it's summer and it's so bright and the weather, I also have heat regulation problems. I don't know the reason for it. So I just cannot regulate the heat very well. So whenever it's cold and cloudy and not very light outside, then I am the best. I'm very productive. It's like I'm in my element when it's that kind of weather.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I definitely am a summer girl for sure. CO Savvy says, hola, Dalcito.
Hola.
Georgie, thank you, Georgie. We appreciate it. Michelle is lurking today. She is having a minor plumbing crisis.
All plumbing crises are major crises. None of them are minor. One pipe will just change your entire.
No, they're the worst. I know. Well, we're very glad you're here. I love the quizzical look on Michelle's face. That's like, All right. Yes. Well, we're very glad that you're here today. Well, let's get started, you guys, and do a 5-minute warm up. That way we can all get our little documents open or get our snacks or our coffee. Michelle can do a round and check up on the work people if they have arrived. That's the worst, though, I think, plumbing problems, because there's so much potential for damage.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And flooding.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So hold on, I want to pull this up really fast. Oh, wait, it's going without us. We don't want that. Oh, there we go. JL had said, ew, and expensive, right? So it's gross and it costs a lot of money. Nicole says, I'm a first half of the year productive kind of person, LOL. That makes sense. I think a lot of people do that, especially because like first half of the year, you've got like sort of the excitement of the new year and New Year's and all that. And then we sort of run out of juice at that, like as the summer gets close. And people are we're, as Americans at least, we're all conditioned to like want to take a vacation in the summer. And so, yeah, so I could sort of see that. I don't know. Maybe it's because I live in a place that's like summer all the time. That like the summer season, just that almost feels like the new year to me, which is weird, I know. But this is not the first time that I've been weird. So, all right, you guys, let's go ahead and do a 5-minute warm up so we can all get our documents open, get our coffee, get our water. Speaking of which, I know you guys are keeping track. I am drinking my giant bottle of water. I sort of
no Coca-Cola.
No Coca-Cola today. I sort of dig this because I noticed later, like it has all the times on it. And so, because I don't know about you, whenever I get on a kick where I'm like, okay, I've got to drink more water, I always go, okay, I'm going to drink 2 liters a day. And then what happens is that I drink a lot in the morning and then I drink nothing all day. And then at night, I'm like, oh, it's bedtime and I have to drink a liter of water before I go to sleep. And that's never a good plan. And this one like has little times on it so you can sort of be drinking consistently through the day, which I find kind of awesome. So anyway, all right. Plus, it matches my office, and I think that's what we all need in a water bottle. Okay, who's ready for 5 minutes of sprinting?
I am.
Me too. All right, here we go, everybody. Yay. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Get it going. Okie dokie. Oh, I can't unmute. There we go. All right, everybody. Let me get rid of this. There we go. All right.
Woo!
Whew. Okay, we got some comments. Look at that. Look, we've got some friends
Nice.
here. JL laughing that my water bottle matches my office. You guys know me. I'm a dork. All right. JD, although you know what it is that I just keep always picking my favorite colors, which happen to match my office. Okay, GD Marcel is here. Yay! We're super glad to see you today. Claude made it. Hello, Claude. Poor Michelle having to deal with her plumbing problems today. But thank you for being here today. We are so glad. CO Savvy is also drinking water. Of course, my water bottle is pink. Of course. Just like that. All right. Very good. Nothing matches in my office unless you count the chaos during editing. I know that feeling. NCO says hello to Claude. All right. So how'd you guys do during the 5 minutes? Did everybody get everything going? We've had lots of people coming in. Oh, I don't think I said hi to Adega. Hey, Adega. We're very glad to see you.
Good morning.
Glad you're here. So for everybody who came in the last few minutes, what are you guys planning on working on today? What is going on? If I make funny faces because I tweaked my back at IKEA, America's most dangerous store, and and I'm like, oh, like a 99-year-old man, oh, like that. You just want to see that again? Oh, all right, I'm good. Ta-da! And the Oscar goes to. All right. Like really goofy. Okay, so you guys chat today. You know what we were going to talk about last week, and we never got back to it. Was the whole issue of writing book launch planners, and I wanted to talk about it today, except that Sako was the person who brought that up, and she is not with us today. So I think we're going to have to push that off for one more week. But if you guys have some opinions on that, be thinking about them. And then somebody remind me, because you know how we are. I'll put it in my calendar, but if you guys don't tell me, I'll forget. So, all right. CO Savvy said, I ate for that sprint egg salad in a pita wrap, wrapped in bacon, eggs in a blanket. Would that be chickens in a blanket? That sounds very, very delicious to me. I happen to be a big fan of egg salad. Very good. Very nice. I know this is weird, right? A thing to like. I love egg salad, though. Look who's here. Wendy Scribbles is here. Morning. Very nice. Was I freezing again? I hope I didn't make my face like this.
No,
that.
your face was fine. Your face is always fine.
I think that's so nice. I always feel like I freeze like scary face. But like you guys, like Robert's always like smiling. He always looks like, and he's so quiet and still. Anyway, we're always like, wait, Robert, are you here or not? Is it Robert or is it? What was that commercial? Is it real or is it Memorex? That's a really old spot. Okay, here we go. Was it Memorex? I don't even know. Okay, Wendy's here. Hello. Nicole did a social media post for the day. Very, very nice job. That's a good thing to do in a 5-minute sprint. I am going to track down our 20-minute timer.
Yeah, I also did a little bit of social media because since we have the schedule changed today, I made a little boomerang story, so I tagged you there like, hey, it's Monday instead of Wednesday now. So you're tagged there, and I replied to a message, made like 3 comments. My God, I did a lot in 5 minutes.
You did do a lot in 5 minutes. Well, I will go back to you said you did a boomerang on, so I'll go over there and blah 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 repost. So fantastic. That's good. All right, hold on. I'm going to find the timer. I should have done this earlier. All right, Robert, how'd you do?
I just basically looked over stuff and got things set up and ready. But I do have an idea that we could discuss today since Kara is with us, and it's something I've been waiting for.
Oh my God, you're reading my mind, Robert. Go ahead.
Do tell.
With our grand audience, I think I would like to talk about openings of books and what goes into
Oh.
first page, first few pages. And then the Caro had a video about during one of the word stocks. And it's something that, as far as people showing me their work, it's the most common mistake. Almost nothing, and sometimes absolutely nothing, that should be in those first pages to attract readers. And agents and publishers are your first wave of readers. It's absolutely not there. Even if they spent hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars rather, on editing, it's not there. Which means your editors that are saying, I have a decade worth of experience, have learned absolutely nothing.
I would be happy to talk about that real quick while Lisa gets set up if you want.
I'd love it.
All right,
yes,
so
let's do it.
What Robert is referring to is a video I did for Wordstock where I talked about the first 300 words of your manuscript. And this advice I picked up from a writing convention that I went to like 3 years ago. It was by an editor and a writing coach, and she was talking about how in the first 300 words you need to do several things. One, you need to introduce who your character is, you need to introduce your setting, and you need to introduce your genre. And if you can't do that in the first 300 words, then you're going to have a very confused reader. So if you have romance, you need to have some kind of indication that this is a romance. If it's going to be urban fantasy, you need to have some indication that's urban fantasy, whether it be like something particular going on or, you know, any of that jazz. And the reason that you want to do that is because in the first 300 words, your reader needs to know where they are, who they're with, and where they're going in a way. You know, a lot of people don't like to talk about story beats because they're like, it's a formula and blah, blah, blah. But regardless of what your take on that is, that's still an expectation that your reader has, because they kind of, while they do like plot twists, they still like a predictable ending. So if you write a romance and then they don't get together and somebody dies at the end, you don't have a romance. That's not romance at all.
No, you have a lot of really mad readers who are looking where your house is on Google Doc or on Google, so they can come over with their torches.
You can lose your readers really fast because they might not be experts in craft, but they want to enjoy a good story. And if they find this amorphous landscape where they're not understanding who the main character is, and this is why prologues get such bad. One of the reasons they get bad hype is because you're investing the reader's time and all of this energy for this prologue, and it might be very exciting. Then you get to your main character and it's not as exciting. You'll have them doing the bad thing of waking up in the morning and you're suddenly getting backstory and all this stuff about the character, and it's like, wow, where did the story go? And now I have to invest in this second beginning, which isn't as interesting and it seems really laid back and nothing is happening in their life. Yeah. So you need to still work on that beginning if you have a prologue and come back and get those things in there. What I would, as those things that Carol mentioned, should go into the first page optimally. But since that page is skipped down to like a third of the page down when you're starting, you don't even really have a full page to work it in. So if you're lapping over into the second page, that 300 word idea is a good one.
I just want to answer Michelle's question real quick. It was Stephen King.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think sorry, not to be like that person, but like one other thing to take into account. One other thing to take into account is your vocabulary that you use. And I'm not going to name the book, but it's the default book that I use when I say this is a terrible introduction. And in the book, it was somebody and she was walking down a path. And then, you know, so you're like, okay, I'm walking down some path, I'm going somewhere, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly people are there. And then right after that, the path is now a road. And then like you get to page 2 and you're kind of like, wait, I'm in a city. So whenever you're writing your scenes, you have to make sure that you're using some kind of descriptors that are a lot more like concise. So for example, what she meant to say is that she was walking down this cobblestone road, between, shops. And if you say that, then your person's immediately going to be like, I am in a city, right? I'm in some kind of city, some kind of village, right? Versus like, I think I'm in a forest. Wait, now there are people. Now I'm in a city. I'm just, I'm lost.
Right. And it doesn't take that much to orient your reader as to the time, place, what is happening.
It doesn't.
And you don't want to spend a ton of time on that kind of description right off the bat. You really want to bring your reader in really quickly. So it is a real balancing act, but you still have to do it. You can't, yeah, you cannot expect that the reader is going to go along with you for 10 or 15 pages or chapters to figure out where the hell they are and what they're doing.
It's very.
I was really mean to one person in my writing group because I was trying to talk to him and be like, look, you're not orienting me. I don't know where I am, when I am, and all this stuff. And he's like, well, I know that you're a new writer and that you don't know. And I was like, stop. Let me tell you what I'm going to do when you give me this book. And I just ripped his paper up and handed it to him. It's like, this is shit.
Well, that is more direct for sure. All right. Eva says Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy, not a romance. Yes. I completely agree with you. Definitely a tragedy, not a romance. I know people always describe it that way. Certainly it is a tragedy with romantic elements, but yeah. At the end. No happily ever after. That means it's not a romance.
Yeah.
Are we all in agreement, or does somebody think it is a romance?
It is not a romance.
It is not.
It's a story about parent neglect and teen suicide. So whatever genre you want to put that in.
Right, exactly.
Hey, that sounds like mine.
JL says maybe your character's a speed walker. I'm out in the forest and I'm making good time because I've been walking in my sneaks in the mall during the.
And what was really great is I got to page 5 and then realized that she was pregnant. And I was like, wait, what? What's happening?
Right. No, just no.
Nicole says Nicholas Sparks.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that. Oh my gosh. All right. Spence says, I know you're a new writer. That's a mood and I stan. Yep. Me too, honey. All right. That is awesome. Okay, you guys, it's 11:30. Let's do a
sprint.
Let's do a sprint. Here we go. Let me see. Let me grab my audio. So, everybody, who would like to give us our pep talk? Doll, do you want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
I am. I'm casually also looking at my first 300 words and seeing how I can, because literary agents and shit. So I'm doing this thing. So if I can do this, you can do it too. Do your thing, put your fingers on the keyword, put your mind in the right place. You can do this. I can do this. You're not alone. And we're going to have 20 minutes to work your magic in 3, 2, 1, sprint.
Okie dokie. Very, very nice. All right. Oh, I still have ocean sounds here. Let me get that stopped for a second. Not that I mind. I always love the ocean sounds, but you know. Okay. All right. How did everybody do on that one?
Interesting.
I did pretty good. I poked all of the players in Discord and was like, "Are you coming or not?" And so, and then I went and got into a map program and basically mapped out this wild goose chase that they're going to go on, or they could just go to the pub and drink and say, "Screw it, I don't know what they're going to do." So we'll find out together.
That sounds very fun. That sounds very fun. Sky is here. Hello. Thank you so much. Internet's being wonky. Can't stick around, but have a great week. Thank you for coming on today. We sure appreciate it. Jeannie Marcella says, hey, and thank you. Very nice. Debbie's here. Hello, Debbie. We're super glad you made it today. Very, very nice. Ooh, Jeannie says, hey, that 300-word thing, it really strengthened my opening. Thanks. Yay. Isn't that nice when you help somebody?
I love
very
helping
good.
people.
I know you do. I know you do. All right, Spence has a thing here. She says, wait, hold on. Got the pizza demon off the bus from summer school and some client work. There we go.
Nice.
So earlier Spence said, I don't fully understand the allure of Nicholas Sparks. Let me say, I don't read his stuff, but I have occasionally been sucked into his movies. And what happens is, right, you go, you think, like, you see this, like, oh, romance, oh, and you go to the movie theater, and then it'll say, based on a book by Nicholas Sparks, and you go, yeah, because you know somebody's going to die, and that's not what I'm here for today. I'm
so
here
he's
for
okay. So he's a
popcorn and
romance. He's a romance author that kills off someone in the couple.
That makes him Chinese in my brain. Because in Chinese love stories, you get the couple that get together and one of them tragically dies, and the one's like, I'll never find true love again, and they just go off into the sunset.
Right. That's not
Okay.
That's not how we do it stateside, though. We like a little, you know, we like to know that these people are going to ride off into the sunset together. They're going to be happy.
Yeah.
It's going to be a happy ending.
It's going to be a happy ending. That's right. So, yeah, it's a little...
Maybe Sparks is confusing romance with tragedy, but his formula is always that. It's like the idea of true love means that once you attain it, you're going to lose it and they're going to die and you're just going to be miserable, and then you have to put the pieces of your life back together again.
Right. And a lot of times his main characters are people who have already put the pieces of their life back together, right? You're like your spouse that you love died and you think you can never find love again, and here comes Nicholas Sparks to drop Ms. Perfect right into your lap, and you finally so happy, and then I don't know, there's a terrible
and then someone dies.
And then one of you dies, right?
Yes.
And everybody's miserable again. That's the thing. His set point comes right back to misery and sadness. I met him a long time ago at a Books Expo, and he seemed like a lovely guy. And I know people love his work, but I don't care for the sad endings at all. Yeah, and I literally get mad when I go to a movie theater and I realize I've been duped into a I was going to call him Nicholas Sparks, but I almost said Nuclear Sparks, and I feel like that. That's a little
more accurate.
Yeah,
that feels accurate.
Better. Yeah, right. Somebody's
often intriguing. I mean, the whole idea of throwing a note out in a bottle and stuff like that. It seems very romantic and intriguing, but then it doesn't end up that way. Am I frozen, or is everybody else?
That's
I was looking at something.
Exactly it.
Like, he had one book, and I won't say which one it is, but it was kind of like the couple got together and they were going through difficulties and it looked like everything was going to go right. And then naturally, I guess really I'm not giving away anything, but like at this one crucial point, like somebody passed off, and I was like I had the book, and this was when I was younger and living with my parents, and my dad still remembers at one point all he heard was thud, and he came into the room. I had thrown the book across the room. And he was like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm not okay. That was no. I'm ready to go back to Stephen King.
Yeah. Right? Stephen King always delivers what he promises, doesn't he?
Mhm.
Yep.
I have to be careful with the throwing the thing across the room because I listen to audiobooks, so it means I have my phone. And no.
No, we can't have that. We
No.
definitely can't have that.
But I've been close a few times to like throw something and throw the phone across the window, like, this is not what I wanted.
Yeah.
I still remember because I went to my mom afterwards because we had gotten the book from the library, and so I took the book to her. I was like, "Take it back."
We're not doing that. Oh my gosh.
And all my social awkwardness of not talking very much, I just went straight, like marched right over to her. I was like, "Take it back." Take it.
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. I know that people love him, but I do not understand why. So yeah, but like I said, although here's the thing about being a male. Like he's he's marketed as a romance author, even though I would agree with you guys that he is not. He just got divorced like last year, and I thought this man is going to have more dates than any man because he's essentially a male. Like he clearly knows what the ladies like because he has a massive audience of women in particular, and even I fall into that movie theater. Of course, then I'm mad when I know it's him because I know it's going to happen. But still, all right, you guys. Okay, so we have some good comments here. Wendy says, "Damn, that's harsh. The Darth Vader story is a romance."
Technically, it could be a Nicholas Spark romance.
It could be. The AU where Nicholas Sparks is actually God is an exhausting one. That's an alternate universe I do not want to participate in. That sounds like a Danielle Steele novel I read way back in the 90s. Sounds like City of Angels. Is it that? Oh my gosh. I remember that movie.
Don't say it's an old movie. Don't say it's an old movie.
It's a little bit of an old movie.
Ah!
Yeah. It's a good movie though, but it's also not, I wouldn't call that a romance. It's pretty awful. Although I don't remember how it ended. Is it a romance? Do they end up together? Don't tell, because somebody's going to go watch that.
Okay. Robert and I are sitting here looking at you like, are you serious? Don't worry, we'll educate you.
It's been a lot. I don't remember. It's been so long. You know what? Let me just, in my defense, I was traumatized when I saw that movie. It was right after my brother had died. And my brother always thought that my brother looked like Nicolas Cage when he was young. Obviously, Nicolas Cage has continued to age, and my brother has not because he is deceased. But that movie was so sad. I watched it after not very long after he died. And so for me, like there was a much deeper kind of emotional connection, mostly with the character being an angel. But I don't really remember very much about the story, other than the fact that he fell in love with Meg Ryan, who was, I think, like a doctor.
Yeah, going through.
We'll go with that.
So it's sketchy to me as well because that was kind of my life when it was going on.
Mm-hmm. I will say I did see the original. That was a remake of a Wim Wenders movie, who's I think a German filmmaker, and he shot the whole thing in black and white, and it was stunning. I don't speak German, so I don't know what they were saying, but it was a beautifully shot film. I don't even remember why I went to go see it. I mean, I'm sure it had subtitles, but I just remember being so blown away by like the cinematography. All right, this is a very odd conversation. LOL, doll, keep a paperback handy and grab that.
That's sound advice.
Actually, we could all just buy a used paperback of Sparks, and when we get frustrated, we'll just fling that across the room.
Right? Poor Nicholas Sparks he's like lurking in the comments today going like, okay, Wendy says I threw a HP book when a big character died. Harry Potter. My ex had to finish reading it and tell me I had to finish the story.
I remember. I know what you're talking about.
I think that was Fred.
No. First off, sis, don't spoil it.
No spoilers.
Everybody
Um,
read that thing.
No, not everybody has. I still encounter people that haven't read it, but there's a couple. Like when one book came out, I was stationed in Japan, and there was another guy, and he and I were fans, and so we would go back to each other's rooms. Like, did you get to this part? What about that? What chapter are you on? And we both ran into each other in the hallway at the exact same point. I was like, "What the f is this? What is this?"
The answer, do authors have time for dates, is yes.
Yes.
When I was writing Single Minded, I was dating the horror geek, and my little character was falling in love right at the same time I was.
You mean straight and like aloe writer? Okay, yeah. My
Well,
brain just went like, no, I'm
day.
amazed. So no.
You can still go on dates if you wanted to.
Nope.
Not even like a girlfriend hanging out date.
Ah, okay. Like
Play date,
have
a play date. Yeah.
You can have a friend date.
Yeah, why not?
Sure. Now that counts.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So
It does in the pandemic. Do you make FaceTime? Do you actually talk to people?
True.
Right?
True.
Yeah, this is our like weekly date. Group date. GD Marcella says Nicholas Sparks, right? Darth Vader. Teenage Anakin. I sort of love that. Claude says City of Angels, old movie. Old movies are from the 50s, not from the 90s. Oh, Claude, I heart you. Okay. He sacrifices everything for Meg Ryan, gets her, she dies, and he's alone. Oh my God. Did Nicholas Sparks write that rewrite?
Oh my goodness.
Terrible. I know, right? All right. I'm so sad. I have to write a happy chapter. Let's do a sprint.
This is kind of like what I write. It's like, yeah, everybody dies or everybody separates and everybody. Yeah, that sounds like me. But I'm not writing a romance.
I know that, right. And not every book has to be a romance. I know that lots of people love stories, love tragedies, love stories that make them really feel all those emotions. And God bless them. But for me, like I really, sometimes you do want like a good, like cathartic crying book, but no, sometimes I do sometimes.
My life is hard enough. My escapism needs to be a happy place. Okay,
I need.
Yes.
Yeah, I want a little ass kickery. I want some kissing. Yeah. Yes. Not in the same book.
I need a happy ever after in my world, okay? Even if it doesn't happen immediately in my world, I need it to happen in a fictional setting.
It should happen to somebody. If it's not going to be you,
I'm so used to bittersweet that this is what I write. Some people survive, some people die. It's good, but not completely good.
Yeah. Okay, sprint.
All right, Sarah, you are giving us our pep talk today.
That's what I get. All right, everybody. You had your warm up. You had your time to think. You had your time to plan. And now we're done. We're getting shit done. Look at your keyboard. Do you see this keyboard? It's a machine, and you're going to own it. You're going to sit there, and you're going to put your fingers on these keys. You're going to make words that become sentences, that become paragraphs, and then your book will be done. We'll get it done in the next 20 minutes. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Whenever this timer goes off. I'll see you in 20.
Okie dokie. Look who joined us during the sprint.
Howdy, folks.
Dr. Toomey. All right. So
Michelle!
we're here on Monday, where we're usually we're Wednesday, but now we're on Monday. So it's going to be a little confusing for everybody, including me.
I didn't forget. I just had a doctor's appointment.
Oh, that's okay. I wish I had one. Anyway, so yes, I did like all week. I kept thinking like, oh, I got to take care of that. And then I would forget again. So Laura has a little writing for us. I think Robert should read.
I'll be staring at
Designated story. All right, here we go.
Okay, let me adjust so I can actually
Ooh, you're getting the full treatment, Laura.
Okay. Lightning strikes the slab of tombstone. Crack. Rubble explodes as the same stone splits down the middle. A ghostly scream echoes across the cemetery. Horse hooves stomp, leaving imprints in the freshly exposed soil above the interred. Booted feet slip into stirrups. The headless horseman rides.
Nice.
Interesting.
Da, da, da. Very nice.
Woo!
Yeah, very good job. Very good job. Oh, Jeannie Marcella says, hey, Sako.
Hey, Teeny.
Look who it is. Mondays, making Sundays less enjoyable since forever. Hello, Mr. Gray. Very nice.
Oh God,
to
it's
see you.
Sako. I thought it was Michelle. Oh my God, the blindness is killing me today.
Oh, no, it's Sako. Yeah.
Hi, Sako.
Hi, doll.
I'm so glad you made it. I hope your doctor's appointment is okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Excellent. I'm sorry. And I feel bad because I did not read my Facebook messages after I sent out the link, 30 minutes before we were supposed to start today. So, yay. How did everybody do on that last sprint? Let's start with you, Robert.
I did pretty well. I'm also looking over my first few pages and scrutinizing things. I think it could be a little bit shorter. There's a paragraph I'm thinking of getting rid of, or at least modifying in some way to shorten it, because it's lapping over into the fourth page a bit. And aside from those 300 words, also a thing that's missing in a lot of stories is by the time you get to page 3, at the very latest, by the end of page 3, you should have something that kind of ignites the curiosity factor. The curiosity factor has to be something to do with your main plot, your main story. It's the hook, but it also is what brings the reader into that story. And if that excitement isn't ignited, you lose an opportunity.
Yeah, they're going to put the book down and wander off. This is why I'm such a fan of starting books in media res, because you just suck the reader right into the action immediately, and they have to kind of figure out. And the thing is, you still have to do those same things. You still have to orient them in the same way that you would if you started a story more from the beginning, but it brings them in so much more quickly, and they realize that they've entered it. The reader realizes they've entered a scene that's sort of already in progress, and they have to catch up. So I think there's something to that idea of like really getting them hooked right off the bat.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a huge action, but it has to hint in a way that makes them curious enough about the main story to say, okay, that's interesting. I'll keep
going.
Yeah,
exactly.
Trying my best with I thought I had a good opening, and then I realized I don't have stated a clear location. I was like, okay, I have to do that. But at the same time, I don't want to say he lived in a space station orbiting Earth. That sounds kind of boring. And I'm like, okay, how can I word this?
The space station was ...
No, because it doesn't pertain to what he's going through right now. So I was like, okay, how can I word it in a way that belongs to what's happening right now? Because otherwise it seems like I'm stopping the flow of the
Right.
narrative just to tell you, oh, by the way, we're in space now.
He's on the space station.
Yeah, that doesn't go like that. So
right, you have to. That's probably one of the more challenging things that writers have to do is to impart that type of information without stopping
within the flow of whatever is happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and you could say, I mean, there are a million ways to do that when you're talking about, whether you're connecting those details, emotion, like blah, blah, blah. Connecting those details to emotions, like he felt as isolated as, you know what I mean, like as his surroundings kind of thing. I mean, there are all sorts of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish and whatever information you're trying to communicate. There is always a way to do that where you're not tacking on. Frank, how are you enjoying life of space in the third paragraph? Right? There are ways to do it where you can naturally bring that information in.
Yeah, without making it sound like
a Hey Frank line. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. I'm happy I figured it out just in a sprint, because otherwise I would take a whole day just trying to come up with the perfect wording. I care too much about how things sound. And of course, I had to listen to it a couple of times with the robotic thing reading it for me. This is why my process is so slow. Y'all. It's because it's like I have to listen and decide if I think that's all right or not enough, and I'm doing that with a robot. So yeah.
We're all captivated by whatever Sako's having for lunch.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I was literally just looking at the clock thinking if we start now, we have time for another sprint. So I think that this is a grand opportunity to go ahead and go into another sprint. Woo. All right, here we go. 20-minute sprint is on the clock this time. Okay. Ooh, Laura had a good comment. Hold on, I'm going to share this and then I'll bring up the comment. All right. What? Okay. Laura says, Dahl maybe describe the view out of the window, far away Earth, the curve of the window of the circular space station. The sterile flow of recycled air, sapping the humidity from the room. All good choices. All right, everybody, let's do one more sprint. Let's make this day count. We are getting our words done today, and we're going to write some awesome books. All right, here you go, everybody. Not as exciting as Carol and Dolls, but it's going to get the job done. So let's go ahead and start our sprint. And I can't get back to the timer. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Sprint. Hello, everybody. All right, we are back. Laura had some good ideas while we were gone. She says, hold on, let me get rid of this ticker here. All right, doll, maybe glowing readouts, monitor their stable distance from Earth that read aloud every morning or wherever there's a change, efficient architecture and furniture design that leads to hold on, human comfort that is expected when on Earth, a lack of art, not a slight whistling form from the vents, the feel of inner organs not settling from the altered gravity. I'm just throwing out ideas.
Mhm.
Love it. All good.
I'll keep some of those for other sci-fi projects. Doesn't fit with this one because of the scenario, but I like those ideas. Are great.
Yeah,
Thank
really
you.
fantastic. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. Ooh, look who it is. Precious Cousins is here. I came for the last 5 minutes and decided what my intro will be. Yay! Well, I'm so glad that we could help you to be so efficient and fabulous all in 1 second. All right, JL's like, phew, we made it. All right, good. Well, Caro, tell us, how did you do this time?
I finished setting up everything for my event, and then I reread, because I'm not the only person that's GMing this, so I had to go read my notes to make sure that I was still in line with what they were doing. It's almost like a weird series Bible. And I did that, and then I started working on something else, and I got about, I got 300 words.
Good for you. Very,
you.
very nice. Very nice. How about you, Robert? How'd you do?
I did good. I now have everything within the first 3 pages. I don't know that that's going to matter for self-publishing because Kindle screens are smaller than an actual printed page, but I wanted to get everything where it's supposed to be because if I'm going to use this story as an example of what to do, I want to talk the talk and walk the walk.
Mm-hmm.
So my first page now does have, it establishes time frame, defines location, works in the genre, and begins to establish the main character and shows he is in some kind of bad way. Which is another thing we should discuss. Show your character in some kind of trouble or heading into it. They're not good when the story starts out. There has to be a hint of some kind of problem or an impending problem.
Absolutely. Right. I mean, that's kind of step 1, right? Get your character in some trouble.
Yeah.
All right. Dulcie Bruno. How?
Well, perfecting those 300 words of the opening and just what can I say? I'm not a visual writer. I'm not going to bombard you with sensory details. I don't do that. It's not my
You don't
style.
have to
No.
You don't have to bombard
So-
people.
You don't have to bombard anybody.
No,
You just do you.
it feels like I do feel like when you give me too many in one row, it's like, not my style. Also, the setting is very not. It's dark. It's a small room.
Mm-hmm.
The person is about to leave their body. There's not much I can do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was just like thinking, but I think I managed. And also something that Robert said: if you don't want to show trouble, like, ooh, danger, at least show a vulnerable side of your character. Something, a state of vulnerability.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to say, it doesn't have to be danger. It just has to be a hint that a vulnerability is the exact perfect word. You just have to have, blah, blah, blah. It's Monday.
It's Monday.
And
You just
Mercury
have-
retrograde.
Yeah, you just, again, you just have to have a hint of that something could go wrong.
Actually,
And then it will.
somebody leaving their body vulnerable there as their conscious leaves it. That's a very vulnerable.
Right.
Yep.
That's exactly right. Because while they're off, partying up in Ibiza, their body is just there, right? Who knows what could happen if you're not there protecting it? Yeah, exactly.
That's always a problem with astral projection. In books. In
Don't
books.
I know it, Caro? I mean, oh, okay, sorry. Sako, how'd you do on the last one?
I did wonderfully. I ate lunch, nom nom,
Good.
and
Mhm.
then I'm partaking in a photography business class.
Mhm.
Woo!
That's
So-
pretty cool.
and like I've been doing it forever, but it's always cool to like see how the business has changed over the last few years, and I feel like I could use an upgrade.
Mhm.
You know, like
Mhm.
so I was like, yeah, it's on Creative Live, which I've never heard of,
That's
but
cool.
I'm kind of here for it.
All right, that's kind of awesome. I've never heard of that either, but I'm going to check it out. All right, fantastic. I got a lot of things done, but not what I intended to get done.
Oh.
So you know how that goes. Spence says that 300 words tip is one of those nuggets that immediately got written down and put in the writing Bible binder. So very good.
Awesome.
Oh, we just lost Caro. Oh no. I'm sure she'll be back. We are right at 1:00. So while we're waiting for Caro to come back, hopefully she does. Let's go around really fast and say our goodbyes. Story Detective, you want to start?
Yeah. My channel is The Story Detective, and we examine craft. We take it, break it down, put it under a Sherlockian microscope, and give the components to the viewer to make their craft journey easier. I also do tech reviews, and I'm working on my manuscript, which is going to be used as a companion piece for a slightly different kind of craft book. It breaks everything down, what I'm doing, so you can have a physical example of how these things could play and go into a manuscript. And that's what my channel is about, so I figured why not launch myself into publishing by doing the same.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm so excited for that. Caro just sent me a message. Apparently, her power went out right at the
Oh
last
no!
second. Right, but that's a pretty dramatic exit. So
It's a pretty dramatic
right, was
exit,
pretty
yeah.
was pretty awesome. Doll, thank you so much. Thank you, Jeannie. We appreciate it. Tell us about you and your channel before we go.
Hello, and thank you for inviting me today. I'm happy to be here. I'm Dal Cecile Bruno, a partially blind sci-fi author. I also write short stories in different genres and a little bit of poetry. My YouTube channel is currently taking a break for a bit, but if you want to follow me and see what's happening in the real and like the here and now in real time, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Dal Cecile Bruno.
Excellent. Sakatumi, tell us about you and your what? What happened?
Oh shit, I clicked on
One
the
of my
wrong button.
pictures back there.
Oh my
blindness happened. The
Oh my
blindness
gosh.
happened, sorry.
No, you're fine. Look at that little kitty cat. Sakatumi, tell us about your channel.
Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Boyd. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things, which is a lot of what I was doing today. So if you are interested in marketing yourself as an author, you can find videos on the topic here on my channel. I've got a playlist and everything. So drop by my channel sometime. I would love to see you.
Definitely do that. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I'm Lisa Daly. I'm a traditionally published author who can't speak on Mondays, but we're going to do this live stream every week anyway.
Yeah.
So thank you to all of you for coming over and making it on Monday. I know it's hard to readjust your schedule. So I'm so grateful that we have so many of our regulars here and that you guys are all here and that we all wrote together. So if you want to write a book you're super proud of and get it published, this is a good channel to check out. But really, everybody here has got some good advice. Georgie, thank you so much for being here today. Thanks to all of our chatters today, and we will see you guys next week, 11 a.m. Eastern time on Monday. Bye, everybody. Happy writing.